Hey guys, welcome to my channel Dive in Core, where I do deep and thorough analysis on movies, TV shows, and games. So, for this video, I wanted to take a deep dive in the TV series called The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think that some of the work that has been put into this show have been overlooked a little, and the theme that is tackled throughout it is really something I want to talk about. This review does contain some spoilers about the MCU and Falcon and the Winter Soldier itself, so be careful and let's get right into it. I am a huge Marvel fanboy and I watch all the things that are related to Marvel. Marvel used to put only movies, but now they have started releasing TV shows. Up until now, they have released only two, WandaVision and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And out of those two, the latter one caught my attention. I watched the entire thing and was extremely confused. I loved the show, and at the same time, it could have been the best of the MCU, and I'm gonna tell you why I think so. The show is slow. Slow as in it takes time to develop its character. The main character of the show are Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier respectively. They are the characters who have been termed as sidekicks and have not gotten the development and personal storylines that is needed to attach ourselves to their character. And the show not only makes them great, but it excels at it. Sam and Bucky are characters which we can feel attached to. They have problems from which we can relate to them as well. The show also picks up not too long after the events of Endgame and also gives a quick refresher on it. It gives a sense of depth to their character and to the world it is set in. The blip or the 5-year gap is also handled very well. Relatability is a major focus here and it works very well. Like, just because Sam's an Avenger, it doesn't mean that he's super rich and all, and having financial problems is somewhat relatable to the general audience. This brings us to the general theme of the show. The show tackles a dark and grounded theme. Some of the topics are so dark that you might get a little uncomfortable hearing about it, like Isaiah Bradley's case. After the success of Captain America, government tried to make more super soldiers. They experimented on many black person, and one of them was Isaiah Bradley. Isaiah Bradley survived the experiments that were done on him. The government imprisoned him and did more experiments on him for 30 years. This theme of racism is why Sam Wilson the Falcon is hesitant to owning the shield, even though Steve himself, Captain America himself, gave Sam the shield. Sam gives the shield to government to keep it in a museum. The government gives the shield to this guy John Walker, who is appointed to become the new Captain America. Up until now, I've said only good things that I've liked about the show, but not talked anything bad about it. Is there anything that I don't like? Is it? Of course there is. Let's talk about that. This show embodies the phrase missed opportunity. The main villain of the show is a group of people that are basically terrorists. Their goals are stupid, at least to me. And this show could have been so much better if the show's main villain was John Walker. John Walker was a decent antagonist anyway, and I almost thought that's what they were gonna do. The terrorists' motive is to unite the world as it was during the 5-year jump, and that is so boring. I was bored during the show's antagonist screen time, and it could have been easily solved. So anyway, if you remove it, you get a pretty good show with a lot of message behind it. And I overall like the show, but as someone who respects and admires good cinematography, I have to talk about it. When I saw the cinematography in the show, I fell in love with it. Some shots are very impressive, and you can see that in this show that the message behind it and the photography is so well balanced, and it can make you feel emotions like dreadness, horror, and happiness. I'm gonna tell you about this scene about Bucky going to the therapist. Very basic, but the cinematography reveals so much of the hidden message. The hidden meaning behind this shot is that Bucky is so confined in himself that he does not want to talk to someone to get out of the guilt that is present in him. And later on, when Sam tells this to Bucky, we somewhat knew that he had to open up to friends and all to get better. We somewhat knew that already because of the cinematography. Who knew that you could do so much with just a camera and their placement? Some of the best shots of the show are John killing a man from the shield, and it is tinted with blood. The shield, which is a symbol of hope and patriotism, is tainted with blood, and Sam recognizing this and taking the shield and wiping the blood off the shield and regretting his actions are just some of the most artistic shots I've ever seen. The action choreography is also great, with Falcon's wing acting as an offensive and defensive tool and providing so much utility for him. As I have got so far into this review, I have to tell you guys about some characters and how deep the theme is. Bucky as a character was severely underused. His kind personal plot is cut shortly. His recovery with the Wakandans was great, and also him thinking of the shield as an embodiment of Steve's legacy was so emotional. And I think he holds himself off in the combat as well. Baron Zemo from Captain America Civil War also shows up in this show, and I personally like him, but his character could have been more refined in this show. Also, there is a character called Power Broker, that is Sharon Carter, also from Captain America Civil War, but she is useless in storytelling. But this segment is dedicated to John Walker. He is easily one of the major highlights of the show. His character is a representation of America in my eyes. His motivations are so relatable, his ways to achieve his goals are understandable, and when he takes the super soldier serum, his strengths get amplified, his rage becomes amplified. Even though show made him somewhat a positive character by the end, I still respect him a lot. John Walker's character's descent into madness was really fun to watch. Sam Wilson's taking the mantle of Captain America is also really earned by him, and I feel I'm gonna like this representation of Captain America a lot. Sam's dedication to help the country, even though they probably will not treat him for his positive actions, is so inspiring. This perfectly sums up the character of Captain America. Even the show ends with the Captain America and the Winter Soldier instead of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. One of the greatest things about the show is how well it balances dark stuff with light-hearted stuff. We can see Isaiah's emotional scene, and after that you can see Sam's family having a party in the show, and it's so politely heartwarming. This show also sets up the future projects like Marvel's Armor Wars and US Agent's character very well. In my opinion, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is so close to perfection and yet so far. Overall, I really enjoyed the show and I recommend everybody to watch it. Also, I wanna thank everybody for supporting this channel and explosive response I got on the first video. Thanks for watching.